Hello, and welcome to another episode of Nerd Nonsense. I am your host, Nero, and this is my co host, Makoto.
I'm Makoto.
Hello, Makoto. How
I'm
you
trying
been?
this thing. I'm trying this thing where I'm gonna start in different energies. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Been
doing
up
good.
been up to anything interesting since it's been like we recorded the last episode back to back. So we've had a good like 2 weeks almost since recording.
Yeah. And the whole reason for that was because Luna and I took a trip to another city, another time zone actually, and
Oh,
but we're like generally close. So it was like a 4-hour drive, and it's still within the same state, so it's wonky. Florida's weird.
yeah.
Anyway, but the whole reason we went was to go to this Pirates of the Caribbean Star Wars orchestra,
Ooh.
which I'll be honest, I was disappointed.
Really?
Very. It imagine okay, so first off, it's like a Halloween event, so everyone's all
Mm-hmm.
dressed up in like whatever costumes they want. That's fine. The composers are dressed up. There's two composers. One is Jack Sparrow, the other one's Darth Vader.
Okay.
And between each song, they also did like a little like skit performance thing. But imagine you see Darth Vader walk up, tap his little thing,
Mm-hmm.
point at the orchestra, point at the whole orchestra, and then you hear Phantom of the Opera.
What? Wait, why Phantom of the Opera?
And then I'm like, "Oh, okay." Then I didn't recognize Jack Sparrow's song. And then I hear, I don't know, Beethoven's Fifth.
Oh?
I hear like, so basically they played songs that sort of matched the vibe of each of those characters, I guess, or
Huh.
their movies. And it wasn't until the very end when we finally hear the Imperial March,
I was about to
and then
say,
we hear Jack Sparrow's theme.
yeah, I was about to say, like, did they at least play the two themes? Okay.
I and just imagine my expression. I've been excited for this because I'm a huge Pirates fan and a huge Star Wars fan,
Hmm.
and I'm also huge into Samuel Kim, who has done crossover orchestrations of
Yes.
like mashups of their songs. And then so I hear dun, and I'm like, is that Duel of the Fates? But it's like sounds a little off, and then you hear dun 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 dun, and I'm like,
No,
no, no,
not
no.
like this.
So that was a packed day though,
Was it?
because
Yeah.
that was also the same day we saw the FNAF movie.
Oh, speaking of, I also
We
watched the
can
FNAF
which
movie.
we can go into. I would like to say I'm disappointed, but at the same time, I'm not a FNAF fan. So
I'm, I am, like I said, mentioned before. I feel like I mentioned it before. I am like, I played FNAF 1 through 6. I didn't play Security Breach. Never read the books, but I have watched lots of lore theories and stuff
mhm.
and videos. So I'm like, I'm not super deep in the community, but I'm like, I'm a fan. I enjoy FNAF. I enjoy the craziness of it. Um, Definitely one of the more exasperating things I'm into because every time something new comes out, I'm just like, what the hell? What's happening?
Mhm.
Um, the movie was like, it was. All right, I'm like of two minds, right? On one hand, it was not a good movie, but it was a good FNAF movie, if that makes sense.
My take was overall the quality was really good. The
Yeah,
visuals were good. The characters, like the acting was good.
yeah, the acting was good. The
The acting
animatronics are
was
great.
phenomenal. But at the same time, I'm a little upset because the main thing is they never play the original FNAF in the movie. The dude sleeps through the first 2 nights. Like, can the dude at
Yeah,
least have like one night where he actually stays up and like for them to unveil like the threat that is the animatronics? What if he actually had one night where he actually had to play FNAF, like
yeah,
shutting vents, shutting doors, lights, all that stuff?
that's fair.
I think they
I
should have had at least one night of that,
I
but
think it was like they were more concerned with trying to capture the lore into the movie and like translate it in a way that makes sense for a general audience.
mhm.
Because just just the lore doesn't make sense a lot of the time. Um,
I'll say I'll say at the end, which um I don't know if I'll be saying any spoilers, but just in case, spoiler.
Spoiler
She's
warning.
sort of like I'll give her a little bit of time. There was the cop who was like,
Vanessa.
yeah, handing out the tools, and it was just like a here's the plan sort of thing.
Hmm.
And it just felt like to me that that was one of those scenes where people will go like, "Oh shit, they're getting the cattle prod" and stuff like that. Like, like it felt like one of those scenes.
There were a lot of scenes like that were very much tailored for FNAF fans to have moments in the theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, One in particular, there was a thing that the main villain says near the end of the movie, and it's the line,
Yes.
and it makes no sense in the context of this movie, and there's no reason for him to say that thing. But if you're a FNAF, and you're like, he said the thing, he said the
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly. Like it really didn't make any sense. I'm like, brother, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
But I had a feeling it was like one of those like one-liners.
Yeah,
So
the movie's filled with that. Lots of Easter eggs and references. Like "It's Me" is written on the wall at one point. Um, just Balloon Boy in general popping up in unexpected places. I did what's it called? The
Matt Pat.
Matt Pat, which was as soon as the movie dropped, I got spoiled on it by Matt Pat himself. He released a video talking about how he was in the movie the day after the movie came out because became like all over Twitter, I guess. But I somehow missed it, and I watched it the day like 2 days later, and so I knew. I was like, "Where is he? Okay, where is he?" And then he said the line. He's like, "Ah, it's just a theory."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like he said that. I was like, he said the thing. It was fine. It made a bucket ton of money,
For sure.
like
Yeah.
ridiculous amounts of money. Broke some records for Halloween weekend. I think it's the highest grossing movie on a Halloween weekend.
I'm kind of mixed with the idea of FNAF being like a kids movie.
It FNAF is one of those unintentional franchises where it is not for kids, but somehow kids love it.
Yeah. It and it it and that's what frustrates me. I felt like the movie could have been so much more if it wasn't like made with the idea that kids are going to be watching
Yeah,
this.
it wasn't scary, really at all.
I will say every jump scare, like I don't think I got I don't think I was got by any jump scares.
The only jump scare that got me
Uh,
was the first Balloon Boy.
Not
Like,
even
Daddy,
like it
damn it,
just felt
Balloon Boy.
like every jump scare was perfectly timed to where like yeah, that like and jump scare now. And
Yeah,
then that's when it happened. Even the ones that were like supposed to be like fake outs, I was like, okay, but then now here's the jump scare.
yeah. It's definitely
Seemed very formulaic.
yes. So overall, it was okay. I give it like as an actual movie, like probably like a 4 out of 10, to be honest. As a
I had
fan,
fun.
I had like it was like a 7 out of 10. I had
Yeah.
fun. I enjoyed the references. I'm hoping something more coherent gets put together for the second movie that like encapsulates more of the lore and some of the more interesting bits of the lore that at least that I'm interested in because this was very much set up. Um, like very clearly, like oh yeah, they're doing this with the intent to make a not a movie, uh, franchise.
Maybe.
They put a bunch of money to making those animatronics, so I imagine they're gonna try to make get as much out of them as possible.
Do
Is
we
what
know?
I would imagine.
Do we know when? Hold on. This is like way out of pocket of a question, but do we know when Sonic 3 is coming out?
Is it next year? Or supposed to be? Strikes could have changed all that.
Jim Carrey hasn't even announced if he's going to be in Sonic 3.
Yeah,
It says 2024.
yeah, it was supposed to be that year. So, God, Sonic 3 is gonna be fun. Give me Shadow.
It's
Inject
been
into my
fun.
veins.
It's been a lot of fun. I've been loving like the Sonic movies.
Yeah, we are finally in the video game movies can be good era. We had Sonic, we had Mario.
Where do you stand on the conspiracy theory of Sonic and with the trailer?
Oh, with they made the first one potentially bad to then drum up the hype to get the redone
To
and
low
everything.
I felt like it was to lower the expectations.
I I don't think it's true. I legitimately do think that someone thought that was a passable idea originally.
Mhm.
Because people are that stupid. I mean, we have the original Super Mario Brothers movie and the Street Fighter movie, so
Yeah.
M Night Shyamalan made Avatar: The Last Airbender movie that was just awful. Like people make bad movies out of beloved franchises all the time, or make stupid decisions because they don't actually care about the IPs.
Yeah.
Um, so I totally believe that that was intentional from the beginning, like to that was supposed to be Sonic, and then they're like, oh, maybe we should redesign this. One rare unicorn opportunity of them listening to fans.
Yeah, more like they got cyberbullied into fixing
Look,
it.
whatever worked, we got a good movie out of it.
We did.
Um, so yeah, the FNAF came out. That happened. I also, speaking of movies, went to go see Suzume, which was doing a rerun in
Yeah.
theaters. Uh, you said you saw Suzume. What did you see it like that weekend or prior, like when
Oh
it came
no,
out
we
originally?
saw it.
Wait, but when it came
It
out
was
originally.
I think it was when it originally first
Okay,
came out in theaters.
yeah, I
Gr-
missed it because I helped my sister move.
Great movie.
Phenomenal movie. I did tear
I
up a little bit.
It is a I told you it's my favorite movie from that company from that.
Yes.
Yeah. It is indeed like my favorite movie. But at the same time when I watched it, it wasn't it was I think it was my first movie that I actually watched from them cuz I didn't see Your Name.
Okay.
Um and I don't think I think Weathering with You is also another one they did.
Yeah,
Um
I don't know if the rest of the Makoto Shinkai movies were done by the same studio. He's done a lot of movies though. He did 5 centimeters per second, Garden of Words, um, did a bunch of movies, but like those were his
yeah.
recent ones.
Yeah. I watched Your Name after that, like a few days after. I still find Suzume better. Like visually it's better, but of course that's just like,
A time
you
thing.
know, yeah, time thing. But I am in love with the plot and the crazy idea with the chair.
That was so fun.
eh, yeah, it was very fun. But
Um,
what
I,
was your so what were your thoughts?
I loved it. I actually think it's my least favorite of the three.
Oh.
But that's like to say but that's like to say right. They're all like differing degrees of 10 out of 10s, right? Like so like one's like 9.9 versus a 10. Like I love them all a lot. It's just if I had to like put them all three like on a ranking, it would probably be my last. Um, but that's just like I have Your Name like hit me in a specific spot where I was like it like emotionally destroyed me
For sure.
going in, and then Weathering with You, I just had it. I don't know. That's actually my favorite, and I think that's a hot take because I feel like a lot of people weren't as keen on Weathering with You. It hits for me, and it has the most gorgeous water animation I've ever seen. Like, I was literally flabbergasted seeing the water animation Weathering with You.
I
Like he did
think
not need to go
Weathering
that
with
hard.
I think Weathering with You is Luna's least favorite, but I think Your Name is still her favorite.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's a common of the three. Like Weathering with You being the least favorite of the Makoto Shinkai disaster movie trilogy,
Hmm.
as I like to call it, because they're all about disasters.
I liked, and I don't know, I haven't done my research for Your Name or Weathering with You, but I do like that Suzume actually linked their tragedy to like actual tragedies that were going on.
hmm
Was
Uh,
that is that the case for Your Name and Weathering with You, or?
I don't think so. Um, no,
Hmm.
because the Weathering with You one, it was supernatural as well, but it was because the girl could make it rain with
Hmm.
prayer, like with like praying for it, and
Oh,
then the and then obviously you saw Your Name has all the time travel shenanigans.
yeah. Um, which that's the whole thing. Like, I didn't know if like did a meteor hit Japan years ago? I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't think so. Suzume is probably the one that's most like real, realistic to the day to day of Japanese people because they get lots of earthquakes. That's
well,
just
it is tied to the actual like I think like the big earthquake that was gonna happen in the that happened in the movie. is tied to the actual like real earthquake that happened in Japan, like the really big one
Yeah.
that hit them a few years ago. I remember hearing about. And
Whether
overall, like I loved it. I love romance in movies,
yes.
but I also love it when romance isn't like it sort of happens in the movie, but but is not like the focus.
Yeah.
And it's more so like we got to focus on saving the world here, not about our relationship. And I do like that it was kind of vague on like did they, won't they, will they sort of thing.
I think that might what's it called? Might be one of the reasons why of the three it's my least favorite. I wasn't as big a fan of this particular romance.
Mhm.
I like the other two romances a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe because this romance was right, it was kind of on the side, so it
Yeah.
didn't like invest as much time and energy into it because it was just something that was happening in the background, as opposed to the other two, which where it was very forefront.
I will say Your Name also kinda kept me on my toes and it kept me guessing, like,
Yeah,
what's like, you start thinking like, "Oh, like, how are they connected? What's
yeah,
going on?" And then you start going like, "Is this a time thing? Is this like, it really keeps you guessing on, like,
hmm
what could possibly, like, be the reasoning for this
yeah.
stuff, which I love.
The other thing I would say is I was kind of disappointed they did not use the full music track for the theme song. Right, there's like the season like each Makoto Shinkai movie has like a theme song, right?
Yes.
That goes with it. And this one, like, they used part of it, but they didn't use the actual full song at all anywhere in the movie. Whereas the other two movies did use the full song, and I always love those get hype. Oh, the theme song is playing moments, you know.
Yeah.
Like what is it? Your Name had it right in the middle of the Zen Zen had it,
Yeah.
and then Weathering with You also had it like the penultimate moment, which like hit really hard for me. And this one didn't
Felt
really
like
have it.
felt like Your Name had a couple, like, main tracks.
Your
I
Name
just
did have a couple. There's the Zen I think is the one that I usually go back to, but Your Name
yeah.
had a lot of really good songs.
They had a lot of, like, vocal songs that
Yeah,
I remember just seeing, like, cover artists releasing a whole bunch of.
but Makoto Shinkai does great work.
Mhm.
Everything he directs is really good. I haven't. I don't think he's made a bad movie.
Yeah.
Um, the worst one I've heard is Garden of Words from people, but even then I hear it's still a good movie. Like it's not like bad. It's just the worst Shinkai film. I haven't seen Garden of Words though, so I do need to watch that.
I gotta go exploring into his IMDb.
Yeah, he's been around for what a while, but like it wasn't until Your Name where he started getting like huge critical acclaim.
I've always seen him as, like, the not Ghibli films.
I mean, yeah, that is
I think that's an accurate take.
but like
Wait, is
now,
it Ghibli or Ghibli? I don't wanna be
I, who knows? This is the
who knows?
gift shift debate all over again. G's are weird.
Okay.
G's are a cursed letter. Just get rid of them. Make every G
Especially when it's
silent.
GH. Sometimes it's silent, sometimes it isn't.
Let's just make it
You
Ibli.
know, we should start a new trend. Studio Ibli.
Ibli, yep. Studio Ibli.
It's Ibli now, guys.
Yep. Can't change it. It's happened. It's official. It's burned into the world. Ibli.
That should definitely be in the title. Studio
Uh,
Ibli.
Speaking of Ibli, have you seen the trailer for the new Miyazaki movie, the Ibli movie?
I have not seen the trailer, but I remember hearing that it's gonna be like a combination movie, like of like it's gonna like reference a lot of his previous works because it's like his last one, right? Or no?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I did see the trailer when I went to go see Suzume. That's why I brought it up. Looks
Oh.
great. The voice cast for the English dub is wild. Um, Let me pull that up. Okay, you got it's called The Boy and the Heron is the movie, and voice cast
I might have seen
wise,
the trailer actually.
you got
John Favreau. No, this is different. For some,
wait,
I searched Studio Ghibli new film cast, and it says Zen, Grogu, and Dust Bunnies cast. John Favreau. I'm like, what?
oh the what's it called, the Ghibli short. Can I get the here we go. This is what I want. All right, you got Robert Patterson as the heron. It's the bird.
I do remember hearing about that.
You got Gemma
I definitely
Chan
Yeah, I've definitely
You
seen
got
this for
Christian
sure.
freaking Bale again. You got Dave Bautista, Florence Pugh, Mark Hamill, and Willem Dafoe. And then the main guy is Luca Padvon, which I don't know, he's a kid. He's probably one of his first works.
I'd love to see Willem Dafoe in like Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh my god.
Like, I'd love to see these actors in like just your favorite shonen anime. I want Frieza voiced by Mark Hamill.
That'd
They
be
they better
amazing.
do that for Dragon Ball Daima.
Would be amazing.
Mark Hamill voicing Kid Frieza, amazing.
Oh my god, 10 out of 10. But yeah, crazy voice cast. So I'm looking forward to it. Definitely gonna watch. I watched it probably twice. I got Movie Pass. Cost me nothing. I'll watch it both sub and dub. Hear that amazing cast.
Yeah.
Um, so
So you have a list.
I do. I've been busy in these past
Yeah.
2 weeks. I mentioned Suzume and Fnaf already. I watched Pluto. It's a new anime on Netflix. Have you heard of it or know anything about it?
Did I hear that it's like one of the top anime right now?
Probably.
I watch NC Hammer, who does a lot of Naruto theories
Mhm.
and stuff, or Naruto and analysis, and he does a podcast, and he says like the new hit show is a Netflix show or something, and I assume it's Pluto.
Yeah, Pluto is an 8 episode series. Each episode is an hour, which is rare for an anime.
Yeah.
It is based on it's an adaptation of a manga by the mangaka who did Monster and 20th Century Boys.
Okay.
Have you heard of Monster before? I feel like that's the one
I
people
have heard of
typically.
Monster. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this specific manga is the manga is an adaptation of an Astro Boy arc, but
Ooh.
told in the style of a realistic crime drama thriller. So basically, they took this. The author took this 2 episode arc from Astro Boy, right, called "The Greatest Robot in the World," and which is about this robot who's destroying the greatest robots in the world, right,
Uh huh.
and turned it into a 8 volume crime thriller about this robot who's murdering robots and scientists, all related to this war that happened in Asia.
39th Asian War.
Yes, the 39th Asian War.
I'm on the my anime list page.
Yes, and it is phenomenal. Like I was gripped from beginning to end. This is easily a 10 out of 10 show. It deals with lots of like existential questions of like what does it mean? What does it mean to be human? What like should robots have rights? Um
Ooh, I love these. I love those.
yeah.
Like I
Uh
love Detroit Become Human and stuff like that.
it's better than Detroit Become Human. It's like so like it follows this one robot detective, right? Geschit. He's a German robot detective. He's one of the strongest robots in the world, right?
Yeah,
And
he do be looking like Astro Boy.
um and so it follows him on this case, discovering like what's happening when like why are these murders happening? Who's killing them? Because in this setting, I'm not sure if it's the same in the regular Astro Boy setting, but in this setting, robots do have rights. They've been given rights fairly recently, and so robots can be murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the robots still have to follow like your standard robot, like the standard robot sci-fi laws, right? What I forget what those are called, but like they can't kill humans, they can't lie, right? They're all programmed to follow the rules of robotics. And so the idea that a robot could kill a human, right? Because it's not just that he killed robots; he killed humans too. Is what sets this whole case into like this like how is this even possible? It's very good. There's lots of deep layers, very poignant, very anti-war message. Um, the horrors of war, what that does to someone's psyche. Um, the morality of creating weapons of mass destruction, even as deterrence. It's it gets very political and very like introspective. In the first episode, half of the episode is devoted to a robot's backstory about them just wanting to learn to play the piano.
Mhm.
and it is one of the most beautiful just pieces of fiction I've ever seen. Um, like it's really good. I cannot recommend this one enough. Um, it hits all the right emotional beats. It leaves you every episode questioning and wanting more, and it is phenomenal. It is a
What
phenomenal
I'm
ride.
questioning is that there's the supporting character named Pluto is a supporting character. That's what.
Yeah. So right, Pluto. This is, I guess, the most vaguest of spoiler, right? Pluto in the original Astro Boy arc is the name of the robot who's killing, right? So Pluto is the killer, right? It's very clear early on.
Mm,
But you don't really, again, you're following the detective, you're following the robots who are being killed. You don't really see
you're
Pluto
following
most of the show.
Gesicht and Adam.
Yeah, Adam Astro
Okay.
Boy, depending
Yeah,
on the
Adam
translation.
boy.
Adam Boy. That's um Adam also is honestly more of a side character in this as well. He doesn't really show up. I think he doesn't show up to the second episode, and again, it's
Okay.
really more get sick story for the most part, without getting into spoilers. But it is very good. Highly, highly, highly recommend to anyone listening. It is just an absolute treat. Um, Gets into like really places I didn't think it would like these kind of stories would go, but like, oh man, yeah, that's right. When you give robots rights and they start to, like, they get married, what happens if they want a family? Like robots adopting robot kids, or like a robot adopting a human. What does that look like? Or a human adopting a robot kid? Like all these different like questions that come with the idea of you giving robots and AI rights.
Mhm.
It's very interesting, very cool, very just, and the animation is gorgeous. Overall, it is honestly, it is a treat. It it's in my top 10 anime of the year easily.
Hmm.
So highly
I'll have
recommend.
to give it a watch. It's on
So
Netflix.
yeah. Um, Besides Pluto, there was also this is something you watched as well, The Amazing Digital Circus.
So I watched it from a friend who was streaming it on Discord.
Okay,
So I was kind of like playing something while watching it,
okay.
but I definitely did watch it. It definitely looked fun, and I was gonna like watch it again, but never got a chance to. It was definitely interesting.
Yes.
I didn't when I was watching it, I had no idea that this is like a new thing. I thought it was like an existing thing, and they just decided to watch it.
No, yeah, this is very new. I learned about it because I kept seeing art of Pomni, the main character, all over Twitter.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was like, who's this clown? What is everyone talking about? What is happening? So I did my search, and I was like, okay, there's a 30-minute pilot on YouTube. Watched it, and I really enjoyed it. I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. It's got this level of existential horror into it, right? Like
It's
nothing's
kind of fucked.
scary, but it's really
Yeah.
effed up. It
Yeah.
gives what's it called? The vibe of I have no mouth, but I must scream, right? Kind of vibe. It's like
Yeah.
this, like really just like this kind of dread, right? And it's the same kind of dread you get from like something like Sao, but not hammed up, right? Like it's like very subtle.
Yeah.
Um, I like the look of it. It's very 90s inspired. Um, Very, very like 90s games inspired. The what's the guy? The one guy. Oh, what's his name? The rabbit.
Beats me. I don't know anyone's names.
Damn. But he looks like Max from Sam and Max, the old game series.
I don't think I've. Hold on. What's it called?
Sam and Max. It's an old 90s game series.
Oh man, I have not seen this.
Anyway, that's what he reminded me of when I saw it. I was like, oh,
I was born in '97, so
fair.
keep that in mind.
I only know about it from like retrospectives and stuff.
I got you. Yeah, I
Uh,
never really like. I don't think I've ever looked into Sam and Max.
yeah, like back in the day, just seeing it. I think I saw it on G4 TV also a couple times.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but anyway, I really liked the pilot. Lots of cool like religious symbolism going on, right? Like the company that so like there's the scene where she's running through the hallways after finding the quote unquote exit, and they show this
Uh-huh.
logo for C and A, right? Which I
Yeah.
imagine is Cain and Abel because the ringleader's name is Cain.
Mm.
The episode ends with like a recreation of the Last Supper painting.
Which means Abel is dead.
Yeah, or Abel's the bubble that he keeps killing.
Ooh,
That's
yeah.
my pet theory. He keeps killing that
Mm.
damn bubble. Poor bubble. Um, but yeah, lots of religious symbolism. I think I heard in the promos they had like a promo of Palmy being crucified. So like, there's definitely religious symbolism,
Jesus.
intentional. Yeah, actually, Jesus.
Yeah.
uh, so I think there's some of that going on, but it was a really cool, fun episode. I definitely am interested to see more. Um,
I'll have to sit
lots of
down and watch it thoroughly.
yeah, I seen it twice. I watched it on my own, and then I saw that Matt Pat did a reaction video to it.
Mm.
Watched that, and then Matt Pat released a theory video right after, like a day or two after.
Oh no.
It's time.
He's gonna be in their live action as well.
Oh, enter in,
But
enter in.
that's just a theory.
A game theory, a podcast theory.
Ooh.
So yeah, I watched that, enjoyed that. I also been playing Mario Wonder.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
That's a
Love that
great
game.
game. Great game. Great platformer. I mean, here's the thing. Nintendo knows the formula for Mario. It's hard for them to make a bad Mario game, right? There's some that are less good than others, but like they know what they're doing. And this one is just that. It's just fun. It's just good fun. I love the elephant form. I really do.
I yeah, so I haven't sat down and played through it, but it's like Luna's been playing it and I will
Hmm.
join her every so often. Um we were playing it when we were in Panama City. Her coworker had it. So we were playing it and she fell in love. My main gripe is I can't play a Yoshi without them like doing some sort of weird gameplay thing with to it. And I'm like, "Man, I want to be my Yoshi."
Mm.
Like, it's just kind of one of those things where I'm like, why they have to lock it behind a character when we could have just like made it a setting?
Yeah, I get you.
But so I've been playing as Toad, Blue Toad or Yellow Toad. Um and I'm always proven to be better at platforming than Luna, so there's that. Um but it's been fun. It's very interesting that she has different struggles depending on like if she is working with me or like or if she's playing by herself because the struggle is different single
Hmm.
player versus multiplayer because in multiplayer if you die someone else can come pick you up um
Oh.
but um but the thing is the camera will focus on one person and it can switch
Oh.
and that kind of gets a little jank so you can kind of like cheat your way of like trying
Yeah.
to figure out a way to change the like you can't control who the camera's focusing on unless like that person dies.
Hmm.
So it's like you can sort of control it, but you can't. It's not like a hit of a button and it will change. Meanwhile, single player, if you die, you got to restart.
Yeah, I've been playing it single player, so a lot of fun though. Um,
Hmm.
I love the Wonder Seed mechanic. Not the Wonder Seed, sorry, the
Hmm.
Wonder Flower mechanic.
Yeah.
It's very. It just adds a little spice to every level. Where it's like, it's also I didn't realize till like, 2000 I guess World 2 that you can miss it, right? You can miss the Wonder Flower.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now I gotta like if I go through a level and I miss it, like son of a bitch, guess I gotta replay the level until I find this stupid thing. Not moving
Hmm.
on. I will find it. But yeah, I like it a lot. I like the patch system that they have, where you have different abilities depending on what you're wearing.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. We actually had JV over and we played it with him.
Hey yo.
That was yeah, that was fun.
But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it a lot. I like the style. I like the art style of it. Um, it's just a fun, good Mario game, right?
Hmm.
Like solid overall, right? Clean
It's a good way
platforming
to fill in your
controls.
time before the new Mario RPG, Paper Mario RPG comes out.
Yeah. So I'm literally gonna be living in hell that day because
Uh-huh.
there's 3 games I want that come out all on the same day.
What games are they?
So obviously Mario RPG,
Yeah.
Persona 5 Tactics,
Ah.
and Naruto Boruto Connections.
Oh.
So
Oh no.
I am in true hell. Shit, 3 games all one day.
Yeah.
Probably will just be playing Persona 5 Tactics first because I get it through Game Pass. I'll
Mhm.
spend money and then I'll pick up RPG later, maybe. And then I could put off Naruto for a while. I can put that off. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I have no problem.
I
I'll
might get
just
it.
I'll just miss out on the costumes. It's fine.
No. I haven't like sat down and played through the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games.
Like ever.
No. Like I played Ultimate Ninja 1, 2, and 3,
But you
but I
don't play the
never really I
storms?
have them. I have all the Storm games. I have yet to sit down and play them. Maybe that's a thing that maybe that's a series I
That's
could make.
wild. The
I
storm games are
played
phenomenal.
Generations.
Okay.
Um which that one was like kind of like a compressed Ultimate Ninja Storm game.
Yeah. This one is kind of doing a similar thing. It has like the best of moments from all of Naruto, but in the storm style as opposed to connections which had anime cutscenes or anime
Mm,
screenshots, I guess, whatever it was.
yeah. Yeah.
This one is in the storm style proper, but it is it's kind of like the best stuff. So it's like a more streamlined version of all the Storm game story in one. So from beginning to end of the Naruto story, and then it has a new original Boruto story
Mm.
that's not in the anime or manga.
Are you caught up in Boruto?
No, God no. Um, I fell off, and I've been wanting to get back, but it's such a time investment for like
Um,
varying quality.
it's pretty good right now, I will
Is it
say.
getting good right now?
Yeah, well, they're basically in their Boruto Shippuden now.
Yeah, I did see that on Twitter.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, read the manga. Don't watch the show. If you want to watch the show, that's fine because there are some benefits to watching the show. Obviously, there's filler, but some of the filler is them doing adaptations of their light novels.
Yeah,
So that's pretty cool. I do enjoy that because the light novels they do some characters more justice than like Kakashi and Sakura specifically.
yeah, I
Because lots of
read.
people think Kakashi peaks at DMS, but he's actually like arguably stronger now without DMS.
I remember when
Um,
the I remember I read translations, parts of translations of those 2 novels when they were coming out in Japan before they got officially licensed. That was
yeah,
still when I was in full Naruto mode, which has since died off. Like I love Naruto. That's never gonna change. But I was like favorite still in the fandom back then.
yeah,
Not as much
yeah,
anymore.
yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, Sakura is definitely being she's very disrespected in the community. Which like if you read her light novel, like holy shit, like the things that she can do is
Sakura gets a
wild.
lot of hot take time. Sakura gets way too much hate. My hot
She
take is
does
she
get too
gets
much because she's compared to gods.
yeah. It's like bro, guys, like don't compare you like comparing anyone to Naruto and Sasuke, who are reincarnations of literal, basically ninja gods. It's like, guys, come on.
hmm
It's not.
Even
This ain't it.
well, and they're all worried like in a time of peace, like they thought like, oh, well, everyone's getting weaker and stuff. Which the only one that's really true to is like people who aren't like Team Seven.
Yeah.
Like Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi, and Sakura have all been getting stronger. Shikamaru was getting weaker, and that was shown in his Hiden as well.
Hmm.
And that like he was struggling to like destroy a tree with his Shadow Strangle Jutsu,
Oh.
which is something that he could have easily done when he was like in War Arc.
Yeah. There's Prime.
Because there was this whole scene where there was kind of like confrontation sort of building between the Kage and
Hmm.
including Naruto, but Shikamaru used his Shadow Possession to try to like stop them all to try to like calm everyone down. Um, Naruto just sort of pretended that it worked on him, and like Gara could have broken out,
Yeah.
and Shikamaru sort of realizing like he's been getting weaker, so he starts training again.
Okay.
whenever he can. But the thing is, he's more busy than Naruto even.
Yeah,
Um,
I would
so,
imagine.
but and if you're caught up in the, I don't know if you've heard about anything that's been happening in the manga, but Shikamaru's definitely been stepping up a little.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know anything that's been happening recently. I know like
Mm.
the vaguest of things that have happened in the manga, but again, that's just because you can't avoid things.
Hmm.
Um, so like the most vaguest of vague to vague details of anything.
I
One
have kind of a
day,
hot take for Shikamaru right now, but it is a little spoiler for me to talk about it.
yeah, I will catch up one day. It's something
Hmm.
I do want to do. I just haven't
Um,
had
I highly
the
recommend
inspiration.
watching NC Hammer 24 because he does a lot of Naruto content,
Hmm.
and it's kind of how I take in my Boruto stuff because I don't read. Um, but and that's one thing he always recommends is like if you want to avoid all the stupid bullshit of Boruto, like just read the manga. Um,
Yeah,
because all the canon stuff is really good, but
I
he does analyze it in like a really good way to where like it really adds like more perspective to it. And if it's one of those things where he goes like, where it's like, well, unfortunately, there's not enough context within the manga. Then he starts going towards science and how like
hmm
that would pertain. One warning though, he does hate Sasuke and most Uchiha.
oh
So but he does put aside his bias when it comes to like actually like stating facts and stuff. So facts of Naruto, at least. Obviously Naruto's
yeah.
not real. Sorry, weebs.
You saying I can't go to the hidden leaf? You say
No, I
no
can't be Whole
no
Cage. No.
no no. um yeah, I'll get back to it one day. Um
Hmm.
one day. There's so much stuff to consume in the world.
For sure. I
Uh,
sort of like stay within like little pockets of like stuff that I'm really interested in.
yeah,
Which is why it's hard for me to get into something new because then it's like I want to invest so much time into whatever this is.
I tend to ping pong around. I'll get super invested in one thing, and then I'll like switch into get super invested into another thing, and
Hmm.
I kind of ping pong around. Like there's key things that I'm always interested in and I'm always deep into, right? Like Kingdom Hearts. That's a consistent thing for me.
Hmm.
The Fate franchise is also fairly consistent for me. Um, Stuff like that. But about ping pong around Marvel, I'm fairly. You know what? That's actually a great segue. Marvel. Did you see the Echo trailer?
No.
It is good, I think.
you
It's
you
so
got to be careful with Marvel these days. It's like
look.
it's good, I think.
I think that's why I preface with I think. Um, I like the trailer. I don't know what that means because
You're
it's a
probably
trailer,
one of the Okay, so you're probably one of the biggest Marvel defenders that I've seen as of late.
and even then,
So,
it's I'm struggling. Okay, I'm
mhm.
struggling real hard
so
lately.
so yeah, so I guess that was my question. How have you been feeling with Phase 4/4.5, whatever
Okay,
we're in?
so I was actually having a conversation with JB about this
Uh
in
huh.
my Discord, and I realized like when I pulled out my like Marvel list of like where I rank everything, I actually do like about like really like half of the projects in Phase 4 and 5, but then I also dislike half the projects in Phase 4 and 5. But I
Hmm.
also was like that with Phase 1 and 2 for me. So it's really par for the course. Phase 3 was an anomaly where I feel like Phase 3 everything was good,
Uh huh.
but
Well, that was the thing was like I understand we're in like a reset, but we were in like a uphill
yeah,
thing with Marvel. And then all of a sudden now it's like, oh, well, now we're back in Phase 1 kind of. It's like I feel like that shouldn't be the case.
it's yeah, it's. Let me pull my list again so I actually know what I'm referencing. So right, like for my list, right, my favorite thing obviously is Endgame,
Hmm.
followed closely by No Way Home. Right, No Way Home came out in Phase 4.
Yeah.
That was a Phase 4 project.
I
Also,
feel like No Way Home is just different to me though because of the whole Sony thing. It's like it's technically still a part of Marvel.
but my
It
favorite
doesn't feel like a Marvel movie though.
it's in the same. It still feels like a Spider-Man Home trilogy. It feels like it's in that same vein.
Yeah,
I mean, just like that is the multiverse saga, right? We're getting things from other things that are not necessarily Marvel. I
that's
feel like we're
true.
seeing that more. We're going to see that more in Deadpool coming up.
Hmm.
But like my third favorite project is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's a Phase 5 project.
So you actually like that more than 1 and 2?
3, yeah.
Okay.
I watched 3. I think like I went to theaters to watch 3. I think 4 times or
Oh.
something ridiculous like that. Like at least it
For
was
the
definitely
record,
multiple times.
I also loved Guardians 3. I
Yeah,
loved it.
Guardians 3 I think is a perfect ending. And the Guardians trilogy is the best trilogy in the MCU.
Hmm.
I don't think that's a controversial statement, right?
Mm, yeah.
The only other trilogy I feel like that rivals it is the Spider-Man trilogy.
I feel like Avengers, but
I have a.
2 is just two.
You
2
ready?
is
Ready for
just
my
kind of
hottest opinion?
disappointing.
Ready for my
Huh?
hottest take?
Sure.
I like Avengers 2 more than 1.
I I don't even really find that too hot of a take. 1 is just backed up by the hype of we're finally going to see them crossed over.
So I made this list originally, but I did a Marvel rewatch, right? And I've been updating it
Hmm.
since. I did that rewatch after Endgame, right? So it was post
Okay.
Endgame. I did this rewatch. My sister was watching Marvel for the first time, so I was watching with her.
Hmm.
It was around the time I think Loki season 1 was coming out when I did the rewatch, and I've just been adding to it ever since.
Okay.
Yeah, and Avengers 1 it honestly doesn't hold up as well as we like to remember it holding up.
Well, and again, I think it is just mostly built upon the hype that is we're finally going to see these comic characters like in the same screen, like the same film.
Yeah, like right, just 43 MCU projects, right? We have TV shows in there too.
Hmm.
And I have Avengers 1 at 27. So right in the middle.
Yeah. Like it's just this whole idea of like, I guess we're just kind of spoiled. So now we're like,
Yeah.
our expectations are really high now. Like, you can't you can't tell me that you were expecting Endgame all the way back from like
Oh god,
Iron
no.
Man. Like, there's absolutely no way that we would have expected to see these portals everywhere and like a huge amount of the Avengers there.
Yeah.
Just a wild concept. All the way back when we were watching Iron Man build his suit in a cave.
Yeah, I mean Endgame was it was the comic book moment. It was the crossover moment.
Hmm.
It was the big nerd moment, right? Like so good. Um
Hmm.
but yeah. So like looking at it, I'm looking at my list here, right? I have stuff from Phase 4 also, like a lot of other stuff from Phase 4 really high. WandaVision was great. Falcon and the Winter Soldier I thought was great too. And Loki season 1.
I know Falcon and the Winter Soldier is kind of like a back and forth take, right?
Yeah,
And same
it
with
is a
like
back and forth.
WandaVision. A lot of people like it's a very mixed one. Um but
Falcon and the
Loki
Winter
seems
Soldier
to
is
be like one that
more.
everyone loves.
I feel
So,
like Falcon and the Winter Soldier is more of a back and forth than WandaVision. I feel like a lot of people just like dislike WandaVision's finale.
mhm.
Whereas with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I can see right the villains I think were weak there, but I think, and this is just a personal bias, I was always a fan of the Isaiah Bradley story from the comics
Yeah,
and that whole
I
thing.
I loved Falcon and the Winter Soldier and I
Yeah,
loved WandaVision. Um
I thought WandaVision was so
Loki,
unique.
my issue is I'll start saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll marathon it when it's all done," and I get on something else and I just never get to it. So I still have yet to watch Loki
Oh,
first
Loki's
season, let
Loki's
alone second.
really good.
Mhm.
Season 2 has been for me more. I know a lot of people are very high on Loki season 2 right now. For me, it's more of a mixed bag. I like Loki season 1 more. Could
Mhm.
change by the end of this. They are setting some interesting things up, but it's just really messy right now to me.
I've
Where
been seeing clips on TikTok that are like, I'm like, what the heck is happening?
yeah, I remember verbally saying out loud to myself, "This is hurting my head," because I maybe it's a me thing. I guess I clearly did not from Loki season 1 understand how the timeline works, like how this quote unquote sacred timeline in the multiverse works in Loki in the MCU.
Yeah, because there's a timeline and there's a multiverse
Yeah,
simultaneously.
it's I think I need to know where Loki season 2 is set. I need a placement because it's weird because it's outside of time, most of it.
Hmm.
The TVA is outside of time, so it's outside of time for the most of it. So it's like it's just weird nebulous position where it's before the multiverse exists, but after the multiverse exists. It's a headache.
Yeah.
It's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff, and it gives me a
I remember
headache.
getting really confused because I watched Runaways years
Oh
ago. First off, I loved Runaways.
no, I love
I thought it
Runaways,
was
but
fun.
you're very easy to get confused because that's like the most tangential. Is this it was intended to be part of the MCU, but then it wasn't part of the MCU?
Yeah, it was definitely like I was going. So hold on, because I also watched it around like the same time like Endgame happened.
Yeah,
So then I was like, wait, they did time travel different.
yeah,
They did the whole like, oh, if you go back in time and you try to fix events and stuff, then your new current present just disappears. So I was like, oh, oh no.
yeah,
But now it's not canon, so it's whatever.
yeah. They
I
kicked it
hope
out.
they do Runaways though, because
Yeah,
that was one that I researched into as I was watching it, and I was like,
Runaways
oh,
was so I actually read the Runaways comic like 4 years before Runaways was even announced.
hmm
Runaways is actually one of my favorite comic books ever. The original
yeah.
Runaways comic line.
I remember
Um,
reading into it and I was like, wow, like this looks really cool. I really hope they do something with this. But
yeah,
and they did like cover some beats and stuff.
they covered a bunch of it. It was interesting. It was an interesting take on it. It wasn't like obviously right. It was never going to be 100% accurate because
I was
adaptations, but
it does
it was
keep
good.
you on your toes when it comes to like watching it blindly, but also watching it knowing some things about the character, specifically the main character, right?
Yes,
I
Alex.
can't think of Alex, yeah. Specifically him.
Yeah,
Because
you're just
like
waiting for the shoe to drop.
yeah, which spoilers, I guess, but he becomes evil in the comics.
Yeah.
So you're all like, when does this happen? And like, there was this kind of whole thing where he was possessed and was like,
Yep.
and he was evil, but then he wasn't really. And then there was the whole when Cloak and Dagger crossed over and they looked into his head, and they were like, huh. And then the way it ends too, and I do like the way they handle that.
Yeah. It was solid.
hmm
Kind of like it's not canon anymore. I do hope they bring something of it. Same with Cloak and Dagger. I never saw the Cloak and Dagger show, but I would. I think those characters are cool. Would love to see them in the MCU. I know Marvel announced its Marvel Spotlight I guess branding now, which is going to go into street level heroes with more mature, I guess, ratings.
Okay,
Allegedly,
please
I
do.
I imagine Echo's going to be under that branding. That's why they announced it. And I imagine Daredevil will probably be under that branding as well.
Please do.
Because Echo is
Please.
the first MA Marvel project.
hmm
The trailer was definitely violent. We're getting more Vincent D'Onofrio, which is great.
Okay.
Again, I'm cautiously optimistic. I didn't hate the character of Echo in Hawkeye. She was interesting enough. Don't know if I needed a whole show about it, but I no one gave a shit about the Guardians before, so what am
Yeah.
I? What? No one cared. No one cared about Iron Man when Iron Man came out. He was a C-lister. Like,
I
I
actually really liked Iron Man.
did you
Um,
did you actually?
I really did. I actually had VHS tapes of some of his cartoon.
Damn, you
Yeah.
were one of the true believers.
Yeah, I actually did like Iron Man, and obviously I liked him more as the
Yeah,
MCU was being made. But I actually did like. I wasn't a huge Iron Man fan, but I did like him
yeah.
a lot.
I like
Um,
vaguely knew about him, but
I
I
I
that
actually
was
liked
it.
him more than Captain America, to be honest. Before,
That's fair.
I thought Captain America was kind of dumb. I was like, the dude just, and it was mostly his costume. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't super into Marvel either.
hmm
Um, then whenever the movies are coming out, I became a huge Captain America fan. I loved his first movie actually.
Okay.
Um,
The first Avenger.
yeah. And I didn't know the dude had super strength. I really just thought dude had a shield. That was it. So I was like, what a weird character. So
um. Yeah, like I guess circling back to the current state of the MCU, right? Um, I feel like it's hard because right, Secret Invasion happened, and I think that's the worst Marvel project in history.
Yeah, how it.
It was
Yeah.
bad. It was very bad, and I had never been more disappointed in anything in my entire life because Secret Invasion is one of my top 10 comic runs.
Oh
So
man,
I got when I tell you I was
you got gypped.
hurt, I was emotionally distraught watching the show. When I learned, I think halfway through the show, that the writers were told not to read Secret Invasion, like
What?
everything hurt me. Okay, that whole experience was just trampling on my soul. I was
First,
so
I gotta
hyped for
ask.
Secret Invasion.
First, I gotta ask. Was it about um Nick Fury? Was it at least about Nick Fury?
Yes, too much. Arguably, it was. It shouldn't have been called Secret Invasion. It should have been called Nick Fury.
So it
That's
had the opposite effect of Ahsoka.
yes.
Dear God.
It was. It was literally about Nick Fury and his internal drama and how he's feeling post Endgame and his relationships with his secret wife and his not son, but he's like the father figure to this kid, this guy. Like it's a whole. I'm just. The thing is, Secret Invasion starts great. The first episode is great, and then I say fuck it and throw it all away.
That seems to be a lot. That seems to be the trend with a lot of these Marvel shows. Is the first episode, second episode are really good, and then it just sort of dies down in the
It's
middle. But then it ends up being really good at the end or something.
yeah, except this one was really bad at the end.
It's just bad.
It just kept getting worse.
Oh
It is
no.
my lowest ranked Marvel project, which I think anything would top. Thor: The Dark World is my lowest ranked project, but here we are in the year 2023 where Secret Invasion exists, and I'm just sad. Just
Man.
really, really sad. Because Secret Invasion is such a cool concept where they could be like, this could have had ramifications for the entire MCU. This could have been like, who was secretly a Skrull, who was not secretly a Skrull. People could have been like switched, like people who you thought were dead could be alive because they were Skrulls, or like just anything.
Iron Man.
But like we got nothing.
The universe was saved by a Skrull.
Like honestly, like they could have done something like that, but
No.
it was no. It was no.
Well, they did. I mean, I don't think it's much of a spoiler because I saw it everywhere. I have yet to actually watch Secret Invasion. I don't really know what Secret Invasion is about, but I have heard about Rhodey.
God, that was. And they just the point they took him from. I guess he's a Skrull as a Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think. So it's not even a meaningful.
I thought it was the moment. I thought it was the moment he went into the tube, like in Civil War.
That would have been a more emotional moment, more emotional thing. But no, 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 because it's a recent. This whole Secret Invasion is a very recent post Endgame event. Instead of being the cool secret, oh, what's happening in the background the whole time? No, it's a reaction. It was a reactionary event to Nick Fury disappearing. I hate it here. I really hate it here. Ah.
How do you feel about the Marvels, like with that coming out?
Okay, so here's Captain Marvel's meh to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't rank fairly low. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't good.
That
Really,
seems to be the trend. Is that it's mediocre.
it's very
And
mediocre.
the only reason it got so many views is because it was between the two big Avengers films.
Yeah, it was whatever. I really like Monica Rambeau from WandaVision,
Mm-hmm.
and I love Kamala Khan. Okay, so to explain my feelings on the Marvels, I explain my feelings on Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is to me the biggest wasted potential because that show is 50% 10 out of 10 and 50% 1 out of 10.
I remember we talked about it, and you said like we both agreed that you feel it should have been a movie.
100% should have been a movie, and the villains were the worst villains in the MCU to me. Anything involving the villains, anything involving that plot line, I hated. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. Which was unfortunately a good half of the show was devoted to the villains and their backstory, and I just did not like it. But everything involving Kamala, her family, her all that stuff was phenomenal. Iman Vanani. I'm sorry for butchering her name. She encapsulates Kamala Khan perfectly. She is as good casting as Robert Downey Jr. to Tony Stark, right? She is perfect
Really?
casting in my eyes. As someone
Okay.
who who loves the Miss Marvel comics, it was like, oh, it's just there's Kamala Khan in real life. It's literally perfect. So seeing her in this movie, hopefully outside of a see, and this is the thing, I'm saying outside of a bad script, I don't know what's gonna happen because this
I
script
think I've
could be
already heard
horrible.
Brie Larson is stepping down from Captain Marvel as well.
Interesting. Uh,
I I do remember hearing that.
I mean, I could see Monica Rambeau's character taking up the mantle because she was the Captain Marvel in the comics at one point,
Yeah.
and she's a very much more liked character anyway in general,
Hmm.
as far as fan consensus goes.
Well, yeah, because apparently the red carpet, like there was the interview was going like, "Oh, everyone's excited to see you." She's like, "Are they though?" Like even she knows it. Like,
Yeah, like are they? It they just and I don't know. This is definitely a fault. She's not Captain Marvel in the MCU is not Captain Marvel in the comics.
I
They're very
assume
different
not.
characters. The Captain Marvel of the MCU just is not likable. It just comes off very what's the word?
It's shallow.
Yeah,
She's a very underdeveloped character in the movies.
underdeveloped. Yeah, and just not.
Is just kind of she gets through her problems by getting stronger, just without like Tony Stark learns from his mistakes, as the
Yeah,
meme goes. Um, it's not like Captain America randomly like just gets stronger. Like he couldn't lift this, but now he can, sort of thing. You
I
know.
think I think it's to me it's the she is the Superman effect without any of the nuance of Superman.
Mhm.
Right? She gets treated as this unstoppable force that's going to save the day and do everything, which is like what people who don't understand Superman always like detract about Superman. It's like, oh, he's perfect in every way. That's boring. If you know Superman, you know that's not necessarily the case, and
There's
it's
a
not.
reason why he is their clip. There's a reason why there's a saying called "You are their kryptonite."
Yeah,
Like apparently everyone can just get access to kryptonite and just counter Superman.
yeah. The side tangent. What makes Superman a great hero for me is his humanity.
Hmm.
Right? It is his like it is that humanity of him. Side that's complete side tangent to this though. What Miss Marvel, what Captain Marvel is this unstoppable force that has no weakness, but also doesn't really show a human side, right? So it is just
Hmm.
this perfect alien being that will save the day, and it's boring, and that's why I don't think people like her because she's not given any real humanity, I guess, like any like human qualities.
I just she
Like
just
no
lacks
faults.
she lacks character
Yeah,
for
she
me.
is just I strong.
I I love the Avengers because they are all characters where they have very clear flaws, they have clear ambitions, goals, and like, they're people.
Yeah.
And it's just like Captain Marvel just seems like such an outlier.
Yes.
And not even in like a quirky way that the Guardians of the Galaxy are an outlier. It's like it's in such a bad way that it makes me very upset to see her on screen.
Visceral reaction.
I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Like
so it just tainted me when I saw Miss Marvel coming out, and I was like, I don't really want to watch
so
it.
yeah, Miss Marvel is very far removed from Captain Marvel. Um,
Okay.
as far as character, like she's called Miss Marvel because in the comics, right, she looks up to Captain Marvel, who is again a very different character than the one we get in the MCU, right?
Yes.
And so like she idolizes Captain Marvel, and it's a big part of her development of realizing she doesn't have to be like Captain Marvel. It's a whole thing, right?
Hmm.
I like what they did with the naming and actually in Miss Marvel a lot, where the Marvel moniker for her doesn't come necessarily from Captain Marvel. It comes from her dad,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget what the actual word was in their language. But anyway, it comes from that, and or maybe her name herself. Anyway, moving on, or side whatever. So yeah, she does look up to Carol Danvers still in this thing because it's a core part of her character, but it doesn't come up too much. And again, it's
Mm.
very much she's not the Marvels as well. The first time she'll be meeting Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna that the hopefulness I have in this is it is playing on a fun dynamic of Miss Marvel, who's idolizes Captain Marvel, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then Monica Rambeau, who grew up knowing Captain Marvel and resents her for not being
Mm-hmm.
there. And
Yeah.
so I think this could be a case of don't meet your heroes, which is what I hope they do.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe.
and like reconciling two different, very different images in universe of Captain Marvel. One, someone who abandons you versus one who saves the day. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. I'm gonna go see it next week. Because I have Rico Unlimited. It's no skin off my teeth to go see it.
Man, we saw the Fnaf movie with the at a Regal. There was a really nice Regal where we were at.
There's some good
That
Regals.
was nice. Huh?
There's some good Regals. Like the one where I usually go near me isn't that. It's okay. But man, when I went to go see Suzume at a different theater because I was the only one playing it, and the freaking they had recliners, and I was like, damn, this is nice.
Was it an AMC?
No, it was a Regal.
Oh.
Like I went to a different Regal because I have Regal Unlimited, so I have to go to a Regal.
Oh, okay.
But the one I went to see Suzume had like recliners, and it was like way nicer than my hometown Regal.
Yeah, we have AMC, which AMC theaters they have reclining chairs as well,
Okay,
but we don't have like a whole lot of really good like extra options like IMAX stuff like that. We do have like an IMAX sort of thing, but my main goal to is I have yet to go to a 4DX movie, and I really want to go to one. Um, and I
I
really
have
wanted to go,
not
and
either.
they offered it at the Regal that we went to, but not for FNAF.
Damn.
Which honestly, after watching FNAF, I was like, thank God they didn't have 4DX because I think I would have been very disappointed.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
My parents went to go see Avatar: Way of Water in 4DX, and they said it was like a life changing experience.
ooh.
I felt like they were on a Disney World ride.
No, yeah, that's a movie that I think like everyone should go see in 4DX. Those Avatar films.
Yeah.
Um, but another one is the Fast and Furious franchise. I think would be amazing.
Holy shit, that'd be
Um,
amazing.
yeah, Ambulance by by Michael Bay would also be really good.
Any high
Um,
adrenaline action movie would be
yeah.
really fun.
Because and from what I understand, there was a one guy who I watched who saw Shang-Chi in 4DX, and he says it does not feel the same as like going to go see like Fast and Furious or Ambulance, but it was still cool.
Yeah. I guess we talked a lot about my thoughts on the MCU state, but where are you at? 'Cause I know you said you just a couple shows you just haven't watched.
I'm kind of just, I've just been pissed. I've been, I've been pissed with Star Wars and Marvel
That's
because those are
fair.
two. I was so huge into Marvel and Star Wars, and I still am into Star Wars, but like I'm more so in like into the community of Star Wars rather than actually watching Star Wars stuff because I know Ahsoka was like overall disappointing. There was definitely
So
like some huge highlights.
I have not seen Ahsoka yet.
Have you
I'm still making my way through Rebels.
have you been somehow avoiding everything with Ahsoka though?
I avoided most spoilers. The only thing I know is that there's a flashback from Clone Wars. That's literally all I know.
That's the only thing you know. Okay,
I
so you don't
have
even know everything else that's in that scene.
somehow avoided it,
Wow. Okay.
and I'm gonna keep it
Um.
that way. Damn it! I'm
Well,
going through the journey. I'm in the middle of Rebels right now.
can I tell you something that's not in it that a lot of people were speculating?
Yeah.
There is no Star Killer.
God damn it!
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
did hear about that, and I was like, oh,
I was really hoping, honestly. I really want to see this Ahsoka Star Killer thing, especially with Sam Witwer being such an amazing guy.
god damn it!
Um,
Can't you just give me something happy? What Star Wars? um, I'm
no,
turbulent with Star Wars too.
they got
Like,
Hayden Christensen back. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty happy. Which that seems to be the highlight. But Man, it's just overall like I could say the new Star Wars stuff is hit or miss, but man, it is like it's not even like just hit or miss. It's like it's a lot of misses and then a couple hit. And
So
same thing with Marvel. It feels like, and the ones that hit are like there's the ones
let's do this.
that you expect to hit, right? Like the Spider-Man and Guardians, right? And I'm really hoping Deadpool hits, but I don't know. But then there's like everything else is just kind of or like it's good but it's mixed. And then there's like random hits like Shang-Chi and like Moon Knight.
All right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go through each of the Phase 4 projects, and you give me a thumbs up or thumbs down for how you feel about it
Okay.
overall. We'll each give our opinions. Black Widow.
Can I give a sideways thumb?
Starting off strong.
Like,
You know what? That's valid. I'll give that a sideways thumb too. Honestly, it's very mid. You know what? Black Widow would be a thumbs up if it came out before Endgame, before Infinity War.
not even like it's just Black Widow isn't even like cool in that film. She's cooler in all the other films
No,
that she was
I
in.
agree, but I feel like that movie in particular, especially, has no purpose.
It really
Pre-Infinity
didn't.
War.
And like,
I mean, post Infinity War.
well, it's like, and the only highlights of it are Yelena and
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian. Yeah.
Yeah. Yelena was great in it, but she was
Yeah.
also great in Hawkeye. So that's not necessarily a point towards Black Widow. Yeah, I get sideways thumb sounds right.
Yeah.
All right, Shang-Chi.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay. Eternals.
Thumbs down.
I give that a sideways thumb. I have
Thumbs
mixed
down.
feelings.
Thumbs down. My brother told me he fell asleep in the theater.
That's fair. It is a very different kind of movie than what a normal MCU movie is.
I feel like they should have swapped that with Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
That should have been a series.
Eternals would have worked better as a series.
It is the idea of imagine we got an Avengers film without Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America. Like imagine if we had Avengers without those.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. That's how I feel about Eternals.
They were trying to do the Guardians ensemble casting, but it just didn't have the charm. But they were also trying to make an epic, and it also didn't quite hit the mark there either.
Well, and their cast is just way bigger than Guardians.
Yeah, it's a very big cast. WandaVision.
Good. Thumbs
Thumbs
up.
up. Yep. Falcon Winter Soldier.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. I should keep a tally of this. Hold up. So right now we have, for you have one thumbs down, right?
Yeah, Eternals. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Loki. You haven't seen it yet, right?
I'm giving it a thumbs up because I haven't heard anyone say it was bad.
Okay. Yeah, I thought I'll give it a thumbs up. What if?
I'm gonna say thumbs down.
I will also say thumbs down.
I think it is a cool idea, but it really is just like a who asked.
I liked it, but they missed the mark. And this 100% also has to do with animation shuffling, rebudgetings, and stuff, where some of an episode got scrapped,
so
things
I
didn't
say
make sense in the finale.
I say who asked for two different things. One, who asked for that show, and two, who asked for those specific what ifs.
Yeah, some were cool, some were not.
Like there's other what ifs that I'm not that I was definitely like hoping for, but like what if Killmonger saved Tony?
Ironically, was probably one of the better episode.
I get that it was good. Or like what if T'Challa was a Guardian of the Galaxy? I'm like I can't think of anyone who asked that.
A lot of the what ifs were weird. Ironically, the weirdest what ifs tended to be the better ones. I think the T'Challa episode was also very strong. You know what? That's not fair because it was also his last post-mortem voice acting, so there was a lot of emotion behind that.
What was the Thor one? Like, what if Thor was a party guy? Like,
it was actually what if Thor didn't have a brother. What if there was an only child?
Oh,
Loki never got adopted.
okay.
He stayed like with the frost.
So
Basically, the premise is the
what
frost
if Odin
giants.
killed all the frost giants?
No, he didn't kill any of the frost giants.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
Loki's like prince of the frost giants, and they're like frat bro brothers.
Okay.
Look,
Okay.
I think the implication was Thor never had anyone to compare himself to, and like, so he never had to try. So he just became a block loser,
Okay.
which
So
was a
thumbs
really
down.
weird. Yeah, it was. Yeah, thumbs down. I think overall, it's close for me, but I think thumbs down. Hawkeye.
I'll give it like I'll give it a generous thumbs up, but kind of a sideways thumb as well.
That's where I'm feeling too. I mean, I loved Kate Bishop in it. Um,
I like
Seinfeld is
Haley
phenomenal.
Steinfeld more as a voice actress than an actress, but I think she did do a good job.
Yeah, and I think Clint's journey was great. Um, some of the external whatever stuff was okay. I give it a tentative thumbs up though. I
Mhm.
enjoyed it enough. No Way Home,
Thumbs up.
thumbs up.
100%. There's no hesitation with that one.
Moon Knight,
Thumbs up.
thumbs up also. Miss Marvel, didn't see
I
it right.
haven't watched. I haven't seen that one, but I'll take your word for it.
I put it as a thumbs middle if we're
Mhm.
doing that because it is again, like I said, 50% amazing, 50% awful. So
Mhm.
it balances out. Thanos would like that show.
I just again, I was just kind of tainted by like my view of Captain Marvel. So
The next two are, for me at least, I think going to be interesting, contentious ones.
okay,
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
it definitely like was a thumbs up when I watched it, and then like the thumb was slightly slanting as time went on.
For me, it's a thumbs up.
Hmm.
But I am also a huge Sam Raimi fan, like outside of even Spider Man, like his horror movies too. I
Yeah,
just like his directorial style.
I
So
I liked it. I liked it. It was fun.
so
It's just
I yeah.
unfortunately I get influenced by other YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
So then they start talking shit and then it makes me realize like I guess that was kind of bad, but oh like this aspect they're talking about. But at the same time I do try to think about my time experiencing it and I
Yes.
did enjoy it.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
I give that one sideways thumb.
So I give it a thumbs up, and I feel like that's a hot take.
My brother also gave it a thumbs up. So,
I feel like a lot of people hate that movie,
mhm.
and I don't understand why. Like I've heard people's criticisms, but it's always that it's just too goofy. But
I
what
think
did you
people also
expect?
hyped it up so much from Ragnarok though.
Like I don't think it's as good as Ragnarok, but it's way better than Thor 1 and 2. Like
Mhm.
I don't see what people were expecting from a Taika Waititi film. And maybe it's just because I've watched Taika Waititi films and watched them before Thor Ragnarok came out. I like What We Do in Shadows and stuff like that. Like what did you expect?
Mhm.
um, it was supposed to be a comedy. I don't know. I don't know. I liked it though. I had fun. That's what I do. I go to the movies to have fun.
Mhm.
Um, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
I actually haven't seen it.
Oh wow, I give it a thumbs up. Um, I think it was a phenomenal send off to Chadwick Boseman, and I think Namor is one of the most interesting characters in the MCU now.
Okay.
Um, I really enjoyed it.
I honestly don't know why I haven't seen it cuz that was one that I told myself that I would go see in theaters, but I never did.
And
It's on Disney
then
Plus now though. I can watch that.
yes, the last thing in Phase 4 was She Hulk, besides Black Panther.
Thumbs down.
Yeah. Thumbs down overall. I had like some high moments from that show, but there's too many down moments. So that was
I
Phase 4, the so-called bad phase. We only had like
mhm.
two or three. I had like two or three. You had like three or four thumbs down.
Really? Okay.
So thumbs down for you, right? Were She-Hulk. There was also ones you just hadn't seen, also, right?
Yeah.
She-Hulk, What If, like directly like bad. She-Hulk, What If, Eternals. That was it, I think, for your thumbs down. Like you had some mids, right? Some midways, right? You had three thumbs
Yeah.
down. You had Black Widow as a middle. You had was it Thor was a middle for you too?
Mm-hmm.
You had Hawkeye as a middle.
Yeah.
Three middles, and then the rest were positives. So that's one, two,
Is
three.
Ant-Man not Phase 4?
Nope, these five.
Hmm.
There's only been two
I'm used to phases
movies in
ending
phase.
with an Avengers.
Yeah, it ended with Black Panther.
Oh.
Um, the only other thing. Oh yeah, I guess there were two other things in Phase 4. There was the Werewolf by Night Halloween special.
I didn't see that.
I gave that huge thumbs up. That was fun. That was great. It's a great change of pace. Great homage to old '80s horror movies. Not
And
even
then there
sorry
was the
'70s.
Guardians holiday
And the
special,
Guardians
right?
holiday special. That
Hmm.
was actually the last thing in Phase 4.
I didn't watch that because Luna stopped me. Like,
Why?
I started to watch it. She's like, "No, turn that off." No, and I'm like, "Why?"
What? It was great.
I don't know. Like, she probably wanted to watch something else. I don't know.
It was
I,
it was the reveal above the whole Mantis and Quill being siblings.
that was something like when it happened when it showed up in the movie. I was kind of like, "Oh yeah, I guess they are siblings."
Yeah, that's where it was revealed, like in like the aha reveal moment.
Yeah.
Also, like they kidnapped Kevin Bacon. It was great. It was a
Okay.
Drax and Mantis movie.
Okay.
It was so fun. And in Phase 5 so far just has Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
How are your feelings on that now? Because I know you were like also like against the masses with that one.
I think it's the worst Ant-Man movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's awful. Um, I have it like it's definitely lower on my list. It's not in like it's not. It's just right above bad territory. I think it's a very. I think I would give it a middle. Now,
Okay.
um, just there's too many things that I'm like it's too messy in places.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's awful. It's definitely not a great start to Phase 5. I don't think I don't have the same big like issue with Kang getting beaten by ants that a lot of people do.
Mm.
Because to me, Kang's menacingness doesn't come from necessarily his power. It comes from his mastery over time and
Uh-huh.
how like even when you beat him once, he's still there. Looming is like a never looming threat. You can't fully get rid of.
I'm just hoping that once we get far enough in the MCU, because I don't think they'll be killing it off anytime soon.
No, it makes too much money.
um, I'm hoping they can do Galactus justice.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, what, I'm not. I've never been a huge Galactus like fan or interested in Galactus, so I'm sure what they'll do is interesting. I hope like anything's better than
Same
the.
with Fantastic Four. I hope they do them justice too.
I that is something I do hope they do justice because man, poor Fantastic Four
Uh-huh.
just have not had good movies. Um, Ant-Man and the Wasp. There's Guardians for Phase 5.
That's a thumbs up. Yeah, yeah.
Thumbs up, easy. And then there is Secret Invasion and Loki, and that's it.
I hear thumbs down for Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion is the biggest thumbs down, and so far Loki is a thumbs up.
Okay.
Unless they completely botch the last episode.
Botched enough to ruin the whole series.
You
Yeah.
know, it could happen.
I'm sure it can, because people, especially for like the masses, like, oh my god, people get really pissed over like the smallest things.
One, like, endings can break a show for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, what it did to WandaVision. Like, where it was, like, universally loved, and then the ending came out, and everyone, like, was suddenly it was a very contentious show over one episode.
I
So,
think also for WandaVision though, that gave it like immediate like praise was the fact that it was the first Marvel thing we've gotten since Endgame.
Was it Black Widow?
Yeah,
Was Black Widow
Black Widow
after?
came out after. It was supposed to come out, then COVID hit.
COVID also really just messed up Phase 4.
Hmm.
I know for the critics of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the pandemic plot line got cut from that show because
Mm,
of the actual global pandemic.
yeah.
So that had to get reworked, and it messed with a lot of scheduling and order of things. Ant-Man and the
I
Wasp was supposed to be Phase 4.
I loved Falcon and the Winter Soldier because of the how well it balanced their characters.
Yes,
I think like Falcon was I guess Falcon was the main character. Although I will say Bucky stole a lot of the spotlight in that show.
Sebastian Stan is just such a good actor.
He's a really good actor. But I'm not gonna say Falcon was a bad character though.
Oh
Like
no,
I thought he was great. I thought he did great in all the parts that he was in. Um Zemo was a better character than, I think he was a better character than he was in
in Civil
Civil
War.
War.
Yeah, 100%.
Civil War I think is probably my favorite movie, I think.
That's fair. I think I have it number 5 overall,
Mhm.
which I think it was my number 2 for literally ever.
It's stuck between that and Infinity War. I love wars. Um,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
I think Infinity War also for the same reason I love Falcon and Winter Soldier. I felt like it balanced its huge cast of characters very well. I felt like there were some
yes,
characters that could have used more spotlight, but they redeem it in Endgame. So
yes, 100%. So I think that's
we should wrap
time.
this up.
Yeah,
I think.
we had a good nice long chat. All right, thank you for watching another episode of Nerd Nonsense. Makoto, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Makoto Dragon _ and I we can probably talk about this in the next episode. You keep this part in, but I might be veering away from streaming for right now. I might,
Hmm.
just in case, twitch.tv/Makoto Dragon, and then YouTube at Makoto Dragon.
And the same goes for me, uh, except not Makoto Dragon. So, Twitter Nero V Belial, Twitch Nero V Belial, and I'm also going to be doing some more edited content potentially in the future. So, YouTube Nero V Belial, which probably I actually have to double check that. I do have an account. It has nothing on it. Don't look it up yet. Anyway, till next time. Bye bye.
Goodbye.